again, what Thoth, Moses, and all of these deities represent is the soul prior to birth writing out its will before it's born. And then when it's born, it will fulfill that will that it wrote out, whether the person know it wrote it out or not. Everything in your life was written out, and you wrote it out prior to coming here, because this was a prescription that your soul needed to fulfill in order to get it to the next level. Everything you did and didn't do in this life, everything happened for a reason. All right, starting off right there, okay? Now, when we talk about writing out your will, all right, let's talk about that. Now we're going to go and hop into a little sacred geometry here of the Emerald Tablet and talk about this, what this thing about writing out your will, okay? Because basically that's the foundation of all this stuff, the Book of the Dead, the Bible, all of this stuff. Now let me show you what we're dealing with here. All right, so when we see the parallels between Thoth and Moses here, I want to tie it all together, right? You see what Thoth is doing. Thoth is writing out. Thoth is a person's soul. It's basically the word thought. See, when your mind is out of your body, you are your wandering thoughts. Take a minute and digest that. The mind without the body is just a series and a collection of thoughts and experiences without a vehicle to manifest them in. So look, what this represents is the wandering mind before it landed into the body. It represents the heavenly deity, what we call this higher version of the self in the heavens, with the mind governing the body through the writing and inscription of the will inside of the electromagnetic field of the heart. So I told you a minute ago, this is not dealing with physical paper. This is not dealing with an ink pen and no ink. This is the will of the soul, the conscious one inside of your body, tugging at this heart. And as it does that, it's controlling the puppet with these strings. Now, when we talk about the electromagnetic energy field of the heart, this is called the command, what? Mints. 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 These are the commands coming from the mentality. These ain't coming from nowhere else. You're in your own mind, and you're bound to it. So what am I telling you here? Before you had 10 commandments and 42 laws of Ma'at, you had a concept of following your heart. And if you see the sacred geometry between Moses here and the electromagnetic energy field, then you'll see we already cracking a code. You see that what's written is written in the heart, and it is not written on the stones. And Jesus even told you about the heart. So the heart is an open book. And when you get your energy in tune, where you're able to pick up on vibes and energy, you can feel people's heart or their electromagnetic torus field around their body. And you can also pick up on different illnesses in that person, different mental issues that they didn't even tell you about. Just by being in their energy field, you can start diagnosing them. And this was a form of how we used to do it back in the day with our medicine and stuff, using tonal vibrations to interact. Everything wrong and right with you is coming from this core, this field of the heart. This is what we can use to hack your reality. By changing your heart, You change everything around you, because what's happening is, right? And I wrote this down. I'm going to show y'all that I'll be writing deep notes for this. Look. See, because basically what I'm teaching now, and it's going to be another presentation. Let me show you something. Look at this image and listen to what I'm saying. See, because when you look at this energy field, let me go back to the Giphy. Check this image out, and I want you to listen closely, because this image you're looking at is the science of how the world around you is being projected from inside of you. Okay, take a look at it. This image here, what we're looking at on the screen, represents how the world around you is being experienced from inside of you. Let me see what else I can do to put this in your head. Okay, so these different layers that you see around this human body right there, those are universes that are emanating from you. So each human is creating this same universe within themselves and then uploading their avatar inside of it. Just like all of us playing our video game, and each console is uploading Call of Duty by itself, and then all of us put our character in it and we connect in the same space. But each person looking at their Call of Duty through their own TV. But we all sharing one space called the internet where we can connect. That's what this Emerald Tablet thing is all about. Look at this. This is our universe. You are projecting all of this around yourself. So that's why I was telling you what we're about to get into. If you really want to know the secrets of the Emerald Tablet, it's also to crack the Emerald Code, which is the go into the core of the self where the field is being projected from. Now look at this. Look at the emerald. Now look at your auric field. Let's skip this around. Look at your human frequencies emanating from the core. Now let's take a look at the Emerald Tablet, or excuse me, the Emerald Stone. It's a reason, brothers and sisters, that they call it the Emerald Tablet, because the tablet is written out in a continuum concentric form like we see like an emerald. The inscriptions that are on the tablet are not even any kind of languages we can speak on earth. These are unspoken languages that are emanating from the core of the self, and your heart don't speak English, and your heart don't speak Medaneta, and your heart don't speak Hebrew, and your heart don't speak stupid niece, and your heart don't speak none of this doggone mumbo jumbo. Your heart speaks yay and nay. That's it. Your heart gives you a feeling of delight when you're doing good, and when you're messing up, your heart will give you this feeling of conviction, guilt, uneasiness. Now, this same heart that convicts us with right or wrong also keeps us fulfilling our purpose that it wrote out before you were born, son. That's what we're talking about. Mercury is the messenger. Why? Because the body gets its commandments from the mind. Did you hear me? They are called commandments. The word meant on the end of that means something. This is a mental, M-E-N-T, like government. What commands and drives the body is signals from the mind. So what dictates what kind of signals the mind sent to the body is the electromagnetic energy field of the heart. And then it'll turn into an action, and that action will be somewhere on a scale in between good and bad, which will dictate what kind of karma you're creating at the present moment with your thought to mind to body paradigm. You're running your own algorithm, and this algorithm is indeed a rhythm, man. It's hard to dance to that mosh pit heavy metal shit. All of that demonic heavy metal shit. It's hard to catch the beat. It's hard to get rhythmic with that. So the same thing with the kind of music that you're making from this core of the self is gonna be something rhythmic or a fucking mosh pit music that got your body. Your life is basically a chaotic mosh pit, but it can be a well-sequenced love dance between a man and a woman, spinning each other around. Determine how you program the heart, and then that will dictate the kind of thoughts that the mind send to the body. You got to understand this trinity of how we're wired interdimensionally to these different aspects of the self and how they are all working together for this one thing called you to manifest in this reality. Because when I talk about you are a multidimensional being that is composed of a body, a mind, a soul, and many other levels of these chakra frequencies that we're yet to explore.